Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another WIA Weekly Wind Up, where we meet you here live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern to chat a little bit about what we have going on within the Data Connect Conference and Women in Analytics community. We have a couple of things that I want to touch on today. First of all, we have Women in Analytics After Hours merch. It is available on the Women in Analytics website, so womeninalytics.com. Up in the top corner, we have actually, I can just share my screen, makes it easy for everyone. So you'll have the womeninalytics.com. And let me go ahead and share here. Perfect. Once it loads. There we go. So in this top right corner here, you can hit shop and you can check out our book if you haven't had an opportunity to do that quite yet, or you can click into merch. We've got a ton of really fun stuff on there. We just added these Women in Analytics After Hours designs to the shop. So you can kind of scroll down and just see all of the fun things that are available. Of course, it's not loading while I'm trying to show you, but you can see that they are very fun, very cute. Yeah, so definitely check those out. And then next, over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about some of the different elements of the Data Connect conference. We talked a little bit about the startup showcase. Just to recap that, you can check that out at dataconnectconf.com / I believe it is just startup pitch event. There are a couple of pieces of information on there that'll be helpful in determining whether or not your organization is able to apply for this. Basically, we're accepting applications through May 31st, and top 3 will have the opportunity to actually pitch their startup on stage at the Data Connect conference on July 20th. We have some pretty phenomenal VCs that are joining us. Sadie St. Lawrence from Women in Data is also going to be moderating the startup showcase as well. Let me go ahead and share that too. Yeah, so it's going to be a really, really cool event. If you go to this webpage, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom. There are a few kind of basic questions that you can answer about your startup. We are hoping to bring the top 5 to the event physically, and then the top 3 will have the opportunity to pitch on stage. It's just a really cool opportunity to showcase your ideas and your product or projects to an audience that's rather large. We will be live streaming this to our virtual attendees as well. So exposure to up to 1,500 different folks there. You'll receive feedback on your business ideas, product offerings, and presentations from our moderator and our VC panel. And then, yeah, an opportunity to network as well. We'll be following up the session with a networking opportunity for those organizations in attendance to be able to share a little bit more in depth with individuals around what they're working on and putting together. You'll also have an access to the recording of the pitch as well. And then your pitch team of up to 3 folks will have access to the rest of the conference too. So it's a pretty cool opportunity for you to take advantage of. Those applications are open until May 31st. So keep an eye out on our socials for that link. I will also do my best to include it in the comments as well. One of the other things that we've discussed recently is that the agenda is up on the site. We also have talked about the DataViz competition, so I'll just briefly recap that as well. Basically, we've received hundreds of applications. We've narrowed them down to a top 5. Those top 5 are joining us in Columbus. You can click through those top 5 here, learn a little bit about their vizzes themselves. You'll be able to see the title, who created it. This is just a visual, but if you are interested in checking out the full submission and kind of trying to navigate that, there is a button down here that will link you out to the viz itself so you can interact and all of that good stuff. So those are all available here. And then we will be voting live in person for the top 3. There are some cash prizes at stake, as well as bragging rights and a trophy. So definitely, if you are attending the conference, make sure you check out the DataViz gallery. It's a very cool setup. You'll have an opportunity to interact with these, ask questions, and then vote for your favorite within the conference app as well. We've talked about some of the different networking opportunities that are available. We also have a few other things on the agenda as well. But like I mentioned, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be chatting through some of the different elements of the conference. So plenty to talk about there. The next thing I want to share with you is the concept of a lightning talk. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Women in Analytics, we love lightning talks. They're such a fun way to get folks on stage, to get comfortable, presenting to a group of people. We have implemented these lightning talks into some of our, networking happy hours. We've done them at the conference for the last couple of years. And basically, they are just an opportunity for folks who are attending the event to sign up. Basically, we will have a sign up sheet available at the conference. We will also send some communications out pre-event on how you can sign up to give a lightning talk in advance. So keep an eye out for those. If you're not registered for the conference, you'll definitely want to do that. There'll be, lots of communication coming out around the recruitment session and all of that good stuff, and these lightning talks as well. So if you have not signed up for the event, please do so. dataconnectconf.com/register. You can, we've got discounts for students. We've got discounts for nonprofits. We have some workshops coming up as well. So I plan to touch on those next week. But yeah, so you'll stay in the loop on all the communications that we have going on. You'll have an opportunity to sign up for these lightning talks as well. And you may be wondering what a lightning talk is. We have them scheduled on both days of the event, in the afternoon, I think around 2:00 on Thursday, and then around 11:00 on Friday. We'll have a session where a few folks, I believe there's time for 5 folks to be able to give a lightning talk. And what those are is just a really quick, fun way to share something that you've worked on recently, or something that you've learned, or to recap a podcast you just listened to, or an application or a technique that you find really interesting. You have 5 minutes to do so. There's not really a Q&A session. It's pretty quick, and we time it, which is always fun. So it's really neat to see what folks are able to put together really quickly in such a short amount of time. So if you are attending the event and you are interested, now you have a little heads up. You can do some preparing, which is not always the case. And then, sign up will be available. We will send some communications out pre-event via email for you to sign up. If you're not sure and you want to wait and see if there's a slot open at the event, we will have a sign-up sheet available there as well. Those spots are limited. Like I mentioned, I think there's room for like 5 folks to share, if I'm remembering the timing correctly. And we'll be hosting 2 different sessions of those. And if you're not interested in speaking, it's still a really cool way to kind of hear what people are working on in the data and analytics community. And then, it's a neat kind of, you can network after the fact, ask more questions, all of that good stuff. So I just wanted to share a little bit about lightning talks today. We will get into workshops next week. We're really excited about some of the workshops that we're hosting this year. I'm really excited to share some of the information around the topics that we'll be discussing, the folks who are presenting those. I know you've likely already seen some social posts around that as well, but more information to come. I appreciate everyone who was able to join this morning and tune in, and we will see you next week. Thank you.